the person that was fighting Quantum TV in this epic battle of good versus good, the Actman, has been struck for a violation of the community guidelines, I believe, or something regarding YouTube, and you'll never guess what it is about. So here we have a tweet from Actman talking about this whole thing. Apparently, the video was taken down, and you can see it's right here, the community guideline strike. It says, warning, your content was removed due to a violation of our community guidelines. Because it's your first time your account is infected. You're only warned once, and this will remain on your channel. So, you know, he got a community guideline strike, and that's the worst kind of strike you get on corporate YouTube, you know. But thankfully, there's that one freebie that YouTube managed to give people, and it's a whole, hey, don't do this again. It's a warning. It's a warning. It's a warning. The only explanation is that the cucumber jokes were considered explicit. Maybe it's just me, but I don't think poorly photoshopping a cucumber into someone's mouth is a sex act. I mean, I don't think so either. But this is what it was hit for. It was for the nudity and sexual content policy. So, you know, that's just YouTube being YouTube. To be honest, I want to give credit to Quantum TV for this because I've heard he does have kind of a substantial fan. I mean, sort of a fan base, right? I mean, it's not really that huge, but there's still people that enjoy the ramblings of a teenage girl on Discord, especially when they go full on schizo and start parading around pretending to be, you know, a holy person. So there's a demographic out there for that. So Quantum, I mean, apparently has some people at his disposal, right? So I want to give him credit for this, but at the same time, it might have just been a YouTube bot. You know, the YouTube bots aren't very reliable these days. So it could have been that as well. It just really, really depends. It's like it's a coin toss. It's out in the open. But there you go. My personal feelings towards Actman, I mean, they're a little complicated. See, I do appreciate him smacking around Quantum TV because, oh, make no mistake about it, Quantum TV is bitch made to the core. I mean, the motherfucker has such thin skin that he had to copyright strike someone because he didn't like them, because he didn't like the mean words that were being said to him. That is a bitch-made motherfucker. But that being said, at the same time, one of the things Actman does, well, he makes tweets like this. Feeling spontaneous, might use my YouTube channel to promote hate speech that advocates for violence against protected groups. Luckily, YouTube is the perfect place for someone like me. Here he is taking a passive-aggressive shot at Quantum TV, trying to be witty about it, basically saying that it's not fair that YouTube sided with Quantum because YouTube is super corporate, and you know it usually terminates people for much less. If you remember Leafy, biggest example, you know, Leafy gone, just gone for much less. I mean, much less than what fucking Quantum TV was doing, that's for sure. But pretty much, I don't personally like this approach just because of how much the far left likes to weaponize the whole buzzword of hate speech and, you know, the violence against protected groups. You know, another thing that the far left does, they go ahead and they make anything a protected group. Like this fucking bottle right next to me can be a protected group, a protected species, you know, for the far left. And this is not a fucking joke. This is actually true. A fucking brick wall could be considered a protected group now by these people. And it just so happens that in a really fucked up, you know, reality that we're in now in 2022, big corporate YouTube has to pander to the delusional people like that, and this is where we are. So does Actman, for that matter, and Charlie. These big corporate YouTubers, you can't fully trust them because they're kind of fake. Let's be real here. They also have to pander to this whole nonsense and shit. That being said, too, at the very least, you can get behind certain acts that they do, whether or not it's because they want to do it and are truly truthful to it, such as like with the Actman. Again, I've said this since day one, he just seems like a corporate puppet looking for good boy points on the internet to look better and making an example of Quantum TV. Although I will say that getting rid of a cockroach does not get rid of the cockroach infestation, so to speak. Basically, Quantum TV, he's just a cockroach out of many that just do the same thing. He was picked as the sacrifice, so to speak, for this whole thing. I mean, there's nothing really special about him. There are like a million fucking quantum TVs out there that are going to do the same thing and act like him. It's not like making an example of quantum TV is really going to do something in the grand scheme of things. But, you know, it was worth a try, and I mean, to each their own. Usually when it comes to situations like this, we look for a bad guy in order to be fucked up, so to speak. You know, that's why every time we see a, you know, fucked up person, we like to gather in a mob, you know, or what we perceive, and then the moral arguments come into play. It gives us a chance to be fucked up and mean to people that we perceive to not have charitability on their side, or not deserve it, rather. So that's pretty much all I think about Actman and his approach to this. That's what I really think of Quantum. I mean, I've been telling you, but, you know, I can't make it any more clear than this. Quantum TV is a big girl, you know, he needs to stop crying on Discord all the time about, you know, whatever the fuck he cries about on that given day. And Actman is a corporate puppet. There's not much more to say about it. You know, it sucks his video got taken down. I don't think he would violate maliciously the community guidelines. That's why I gotta call it like it is. You know, corporate puppet or not, it's a bullshit takedown. It's a bullshit strike. And that's the way it is. But let me know what you think. I'll talk to you in the next video. See ya.